everyone, I wanted to hop on here and do my May to be read pile, or my TBR. And I have to say straight up, first of all, I don't usually always stick to a TBR. I love making them. The excitement of pulling out books, deciding what you want to read for the month, but then I kind of fall off the track and pick up mood reads. So I may or may not get to all of these books, and I may end up adding more to it that I didn't start out with at the beginning of the month. I also want to say, if you hear anything in the background, two things. My dog is sitting here beside me. Usually he doesn't behave when I try to do this, so we're going to try and see how it goes. Secondly, my husband is printing, he's printing a rocket on our 3D printer, which is like over there behind the camera. So I'm hoping it's not too much background noise, but if you hear anything kind of weird, that is what it would be. So I'm totally new to doing the TBR, or what I hope to read in the month, so I'm not really sure how to go about doing this. So I see some people read the back of the book out loud so that you know what the book is about, or some people summarize it. I figured I would go the easiest route until I figure out exactly how I want to do this. So I'm going to start by reading them out loud. All right, I got quite a pile here. And I should start out with saying that I've already started on this pile because the day that I'm taping this is, let me see, it's the 11th. So it's not exactly the beginning of the month. But the first book is The Choice by Nora Roberts. There's not much I can really say about this book because it's the third in a series. But if you are into things taking place in Ireland and you're into magic and fantasy, romance, like evil gods, dark versus light, witches, trolls, fairies, dragons, this series is for you. It all starts out with a girl named Breen, and she lives in Philadelphia. She's a school teacher, and somebody comes into her life and suggests another way of living. This is from book 1. She, well, comes into her life eventually, but she comes into some money and she decides to take a trip with her best friend Marco. They go to Ireland and she falls in love with the place. She meets people that she had forgotten about, so like past family members and things like that, and it gives her an opportunity for new life. So that's what the first book is about. The second book is kind of how it progresses from there, and then this is the closing of the series. But again, if you like fantasy, dragons, the whole deal, witches, wizards, like everything like that, seriously give this book a go because it's really good. I enjoyed it very much. The next one that I hope to get to this month is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, I think is how you say her name. And I don't really know much about this book. I picked it up from Book of the Month, and the reason why I picked it up is because a while ago I read The Kitchen Front, and somebody had said that if you love The Kitchen Front, you will love this type of book. And The Kitchen Front was a super like cozy book. I think it was based in World War II or something like that, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping I enjoy this one as much. It says that chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality. Except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant, Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. True chemistry results. Like science, though, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but also a reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's usual approach to cooking combined one tablespoon and a pinch of something else proves revolutionary. But as her following grows, not everyone is happy, because it turns out Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. Laugh out loud, funny, shrewdly observant, and studded with a dazzling cast of supporting characters, Lessons in Chemistry is as original and vibrant as its protagonist. So yeah, I'm really excited to start this. I've been saving it. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I save books for certain times, and May happens to be my birthday month. So that's why I saved this. I had ordered this back in November when it came out, but I was like, nope, she's one of my favorites, so I'm going to save the book for my birthday month. That's kind of how this come about. Not that she's my favorite. I've never read anything by her, but it sounds so cozy, and I just wanted kind of a cozy comfort read for this time of year, this month, I guess. So yeah, that's Lessons in Chemistry. The next book I have on the list is The Maid by Nita Prose. I ordered this from Book of the Month last month, and like I said in my last video, I am new to the cozy mystery type train, I guess, hype, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people have said that this was a really good book, and so I picked it up, and I gotta tell you, I'm trying to get to the page. I looked at the first page and it kind of cracked me up. So I'm not really gonna, I'm gonna read a little bit of it. It says, I'm your maid. I'm the one who cleans your hotel room, who enters in like a phantom when you're gallivanting for the day. No care at all about what you've left behind, the mess, or what I might see when you're gone. I'm the one who empties your trash, tossing out the receipts you don't want anyone to discover. I'm the one who changes your sheets, who can tell if you've slept in them, and if you were alone last night or not. I'm the one who straightens your shoes by the door, who puffs up your pillows and finds stray hairs on them. Yours? Not likely. I'm the one who cleans up after you, and after you drink too much and soil the toilet seat, or worse. There's more to the page, but this book really interested me because back when I used to work outside the home, I used to clean hotel rooms. And honestly, it was probably one of my favorite jobs. I have been a teacher and I do have a degree in psychology, but there was something about going into a hotel room when it's completely messy and you go in, you clean, you leave, it's perfect. Like, it's instant reward, and that was totally my thing, what I really loved about that job. And you do see some pretty nasty things in a hotel room. But this is about Molly Gray. She's not like everyone else. She struggles with the social skills and misreads the intentions of others. Her gran used to interpret the world for her, codifying it into simple rules that Molly could live by. Since Gran died a few months ago, 25-year-old Molly has been navigating life's complexities all by herself. No matter, she throws herself with gusto into her work as a hotel maid. Her unique character, along with her obsessive love of cleaning and proper etiquette, makes her an ideal fit for the job. She delights in donning her crisp uniform each morning, stocking her car with miniature soaps and bottles, and returning guest rooms at a Regency Grand Hotel to a state of perfection. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I liked. But Molly's orderly life is upended the day she enters into the suite of an infamous and wealthy Charles Black, only to find it in a state of disarray and Mr. Black himself dead in the bed. Yikes. Before she knows what's happening, Molly's unusual demeanor has the police targeting her as their lead suspect. She quickly finds herself caught in a web of deception, one she has no idea of how to untangle. Fortunately for Molly, friends she never knew she had unite with her in search for clues to what really happened to Mr. Black. But will they be able to find the real killer before it's too late? I think this... Whoops. The bookmark fell out. I think this book sounds so good, and I'm very excited to get to it, especially after reading that opening page. Like, that cracks me up. It takes me back to the good old days, I guess. The next book on the list is Fun Home, a family tragic comic. by Alison Bechtel. This is a book club book that I take part in with Lauren in the Books. I will try to remember to link her channel down below. But this month we decided to read a comic book. And this is the first time we've ever read a comic book. And I don't really know anything about this book. I got it out from the library because, well, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. So I didn't want to waste the money. But it says, in this groundbreaking, best-selling graphic memoir, Allison charts her fraught relationship with her late father in her hands. Personal history becomes a work of amazing, subtly and powerfully written with controlled force and enlivened with humor, rich literary allusion, and heartbreaking detail. A masterpiece about two people who live in the same house but different worlds and their mysterious debts to each other. One of the best memoirs of the decade, at once hyper-controlled and utterly intimate. Fun Home must be the most ingeniously compact example of an autobiography to have been produced. It's a pioneering work. So I think it's like a kind of get to know yourself type of book. Like I think the dad in here is I think he's gay, but he's closeted about it. He doesn't say anything, but then the daughter comes out as gay, I think. So it's a story about their family. The pictures I think are kind of great. I like the color. So yeah, this has to be read by the end of the month. So this will definitely be one that I absolutely read. Hopefully these other ones will be ones that I read too, but definitely this one because I have book club on it. Another book in my pile is The Whispered Word. It's the second book in the Secret Book and Scone Society by Ellery Adams. So I'm not going to say a lot about this book because I don't want to spoil the first book. But the first book, I think it's called The Book and Scone Society, takes place in a small town. In this small town, people tend to find themselves in that really need like a change or some kind of a healing. And there's a woman, Nora. She owns the local bookstore and she has a knack for pulling out the exact book that you need in that moment so that it'll teach you something, help you heal from something, whatever it might be. And then there is a beautician in the town that has a knack for making you feel your absolute best. There's also a baker in the town. She is able to bake exactly what you need to remind you of memories, like good memories or whatever. Basically, this whole town is, like I said, for healing. But you don't know that's why you end up there to begin with. It just kind of happens. So it's cozy mystery. In the first one, they're solving a case of a murdered man. And it's like, I can't remember if it's like, I think it's 4 women come together. They have all these buried secrets, and as they get to know one another, they might share some of their secrets, and they become the Book and Scone Society. It was a really good first book, and I'm really enjoying the second book so far. I'm only on page like 28, so not a lot has happened, but super cozy, and it's taking place so far in a bookstore, so like absolute awesome cozy vibes. So there's that book. Another book I've picked up, which I've heard people say is a cozy mystery, and I've heard people say it's not a cozy mystery, so I'm not really sure. I don't know anything about this book. It's written by Richard Osman, I think that's how you say his name. It's called The Thursday Murder Club. I'm hoping to get to this book. I picked it up a while ago. On the front here by Kate Atkinson, it says, "A little beacon of pleasure." The back of it says, "Don't trust anyone, including the 4..." I have no idea how to say this word. I'm going with the 4 old people because I think that's what it means. sleuths in Osman's laugh out loud whodunit. In a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet weekly in a jigsaw room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together, they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. When a local developer is found dead with a mysterious photograph left next to the body, the friends suddenly find themselves in the middle of their first live case. They might be senior citizens, but they are cleverer than most. As the bodies begin to pile up, can an unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? Okay, so how does that not sound awesome? Like you're in a retirement village, some old people get together and solve cases. I mean, that's kind of awesome, right? And who would ever suspect, an old person of snooping around to solve a case? I mean, sounds awesome. Stoked for that. This next book I heard about, again, from Lauren in the Books. I think it was one of her favorite books one year. I can't remember when. But it is called Big Bones by Laura Dockrill. I think is how you say her name. Now, Lauren had said that back when she was younger and she struggled with her body image and things, this book would have really helped her. I am somebody that shares in that struggle, so I'm really hoping that I get as much out of this as she got out of it. So, it says on the back, I think I look pretty today, and I'm nice and kind and interesting, and I've already proved that I can make a pretty decent sandwich. Meet Bluebell, aka BB, aka Big Bones. She's bold, beautiful, and beginning her summer holiday, but instead of relaxing, she's being forced to write a food diary. She has a lot to say. Then an accident upturns her family, and BB finds it's not just the diary bringing unexpected change into her life. And Max, with the dimples, will they ever move beyond latte art and chamomile tea? So I'm guessing it's a YA book, but I love to eat. So reading a diary on the things that she eats sounds kind of fantastic. Like this, this chapter is called Shepherd's Pie. Yum, I might be vegan, but I make a shepherd's pie. And I love it. This one is cheese. Oh, I do miss cheese on a vegan diet, but I found some good vegan substitutes, so that works. But yeah, it's just got different things in it that, like, different chapter headings that just sound really yummy. So stoked. I'm stoked. And I think the cover's fantastic. Okay. Now this one is a little bit trickier because it's on my phone and one on my Kindle. So I'm going to pull it out from Goodreads. It is by Louise Penny. It's called A World of Curiosities. I've just started this book. I have loved every one of the Three Pines or Inspector Gamache series books out there. I've read every single one of them, and I've done it all through audio. So I can't imagine picking up the book and reading it where I've listened to every single one of them. I think she does a fantastic job at making you feel like you're actually in the community and like really making you want to be friends with these people and to live in Three Pines. Like, it is so cozy, and you can't call it a cozy mystery because it's an inspector and all that, but the cozy vibes are there for real. So this one, again, I purchased it when it came out, I think like back in November from Audible, but I wanted to save it for my birthday month. So here we are, birthday month. I've just started it a couple of days ago. And the description is, Chief Inspector Armand Gamache returns in the 18th book in the New York Times best-selling Louise Penny's beloved series. It's spring and Three Pines is re-emerging after the harsh winter, but not everything buried should come alive again. Not everything lying should be dormant. No, not everything lying dormant should re-emerge, but something has. As the villagers prepare for a special celebration, Armand Gamache and Jean-Guy Beauvoir find themselves increasingly worried. A young man and woman have reappeared in the Cioté du Quebec investigators' lives after many years. The two were young children when their troubled mother was murdered, leaving them damaged, shattered. Now they've arrived in the village of Three Pines. But to what end? Gamache and Beauvoir's memories of the tragic case, the one that first brought them together, came rushing back. Did their mother's murder hurt these children beyond repair? Have those terrible wounds, buried for decades, festered, and are they now about to erupt? As Chief Inspector Gamache works to uncover answers, his alarm grows when a letter written by a long-dead stonemason is discovered. In it, the man describes his terror when bricking up an attic room somewhere in the village. Every word of the 160-year-old letter is filled with dread. When the room is found, the villagers decide to open it up. As the bricks are removed, Gamache, Beauvoir, and the villagers discover a world of curiosities. But the head of the homicide soon realizes there's more in that room than meets the eye. There are puzzles within puzzles and hidden messages warning of mayhem and revenge. In unsealing that room, an old enemy is released into their world, into their lives, and into the very heart of Armand Gamache's home. Oh, I can't even. I'm so pumped for this book. I don't know if you listen to audiobooks, but the narrator of this book and all of the Inspector Gamache books have been fantastic. For the first half of them, you have one narrator, then he sadly passes away, but then you get a new narrator and he does a great job. And I have loved the series so much up to this point, and I'm really excited about really diving into this book. Okay, and the next book is an arc that I have to have read. And I've already read her first book, and I think it was called Nora Goes Off Script. This one is called, I don't know if you can see it, Same Time Next Summer. Well, that's not helpful, is it? I just switched to the page I'm on. What a stinker. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay. So that's the cover. I really enjoyed the first one that Anabel Monaghan wrote, Nora Goes Off Script. And this one, at the Same Time Next Summer, I'm really enjoying this one as well. So the little blurb on Goodreads says, the ultimate summer nostalgia read about an engaged woman who comes face to face with her first love, who she hasn't seen in 14 years, but who she spent every summer with from age 5 to 17 when he broke her heart, calling into question everything she thought she knew about their love story and herself. Beach rules. Do take long walks on the sand. Do put an umbrella in every cocktail. Do not run into your first love. Sam's life is on track. She has the perfect doctor fiance. Jack, his strict routines are a good thing, really. A great job in Manhattan unless they fire her, and is about to tour a wedding venue near her family's Long Island beach house. Everything should go to plan, yet the minute she arrives, Sam senses something is off. Wyatt is here. Her Wyatt. But there's no reason for a 30-year-old engaged woman to feel panicked around the guy who broke her heart when she was 17, right? Yet, being back at this beach, hearing notes from Wyatt's guitar float across the night air from next door as if no time has passed, Sam's memories come flooding back. The feel of Wyatt's skin on hers, their nights in the treehouse, and the truth behind their split. Sam remembers who she used to be, and as Wyatt re-enters her life, their connection is as undeniable as it always was. She'll have to make a choice. Okay, so I don't know if there's smut in this book, but I know in her last one, well, I say I know. It was last year I read it, but I don't remember really there being any smut. I remember excellent banter. I remember like romantic type kisses, but I don't remember any sex. So I'm hoping that this book is the same. But yeah, those are my hopes for the month of May. It's a big hope. There is a lot of books here. And hopefully I stick to these books and I don't switch to something else, because I've been known to do that. Really want to be a person that sticks to TBRs, yet I seem to be a mood reader as well. So I don't know what that makes me. A moody TBR reader? I don't know. But here they are again. I guess I don't know why I put my Kindle and phone up there, but anyways, they're on there. So yeah, what are you hoping to read this month? Anything good? Any of the books I've listed here? Have you read any of these books? If so, please let me know what you think. I'm super pumped to get reading, and it's the 8th of May right now, so I don't have much time. Like, there's so many books and not nearly enough time to read them all. But all right, I'm gonna end the video here, and I hope you have a great month, and I will hopefully pop back in next week with a little bit of a book haul. So, all right,